let's take you back to one of our top stories this morning, and that's the trial of Anders Behring Breivik in Oslo. He's responsible for the killing of 77 people in Norway last year. Let's get more now from the political editor for Norway's Broadcasting Corporation, NRK, Kyrre Nakkim, who joins us now from Oslo via webcam. Thanks very much for your time this morning. Just firstly, take us through Anders Behring Breivik's how he appeared in court yesterday.
Well, Mr. Breivik was looked upon as having no emotions at all. One described him as a person that doesn't really have any kind of empathy at all. But when they showed one video that he's made himself prior to the attacks, which is pure propaganda, he started to cry in court. So what the experts tell us now is that this is a person which is very narcissistic and only responds to feelings that's towards himself.
So having said that, the trial's actually being broadcast live. That's very unusual in Norway, isn't it?
Yes, it is. We can't actually broadcast everything. We can broadcast the initial statements from the prosecution, but Mr. Behring Breivik's own records we can't broadcast, and we cannot broadcast all the witnesses, just the expert witnesses. But this is a trial which makes new ground in Norway, and new rules are set also when it comes to what we can broadcast and what we can't.
And so how long is the trial expected to go on for?
It's expected to last for about 10 weeks, which is actually not that long. Mr. Breivik is going to use the first 2, maybe a little bit more than the 2 weeks, to come with his statement. And then it's going to be a vast amount of witnesses. But unlike a lot of other trials, Mr. Breivik acknowledges what is done. He just does not acknowledge that he's done anything wrong or that he should be penalized for it, because he doesn't acknowledge the court itself. But when it comes to what actually happened, both parties are quite agreed on that.
Because he's admitted to the killings, but he says it's in self-defence, but he's pleaded not guilty to the charges that he's facing.
Exactly. He has a kind of xenophobic view of the world, and he believes that he did it in self-defense in order to defend the European culture towards multiculturalism and Islam. But he is not going to be heard on that point. But still, it shows what kind of emotions he has and what kind of political view, what kind of distorted political view he has.
Kyrre Nakkim, at the beginning of the trial, the names of each of the victims was read out and how many bullet wounds they may have received. What's been the public response to things like that during the start of this trial? Well,
most Norwegians have gone waiting for this court to start, and in somewhat was prepared for it. But when you hear all the names being read, and you hear that it's been not shot once or twice, but the victims have been shot 3 or 4 times, and in the head as well, it's kind of cold-blooded. It's so heartless that you can't not be affected by it. So some of our old wounds have been ripped up now, and it's going to take some time to heal.
Kyrre Nakkim, we really appreciate your time this morning. Thank you very much.
It's nice.